variables for JavaScript, they good at saving one data of one data type. If you get any data where you want store, maybe number, strings, or Boolean value, if you use variables and they could work very well. But what if you have more than one data to store? If you think of variables as a box to store one data, then you fit think of arrays as box to store more than one data at the same time. For instance, if we get all of these variables, instead of storing them inside their own different variables like this, we fit store everything inside one single variable by using an array. And ladies and gentlemen, now like this with the right arrays for JavaScript. Today, we're going to discuss everything about arrays, including how we write them, what we fit use them, store, and how we fit access the data where we store inside them, how we fit change this data, and some methods we will use on our arrays. Now, if you want to write any array for JavaScript, you go write down, like see, you declare normal variable. You go use your keyword, then your variable name. Now, after equal to, you must make sure say you open square bracket and close the square bracket. Inside the square bracket, now where you will write all the data where you want to store, and you go make sure say you separate them with comma. This comma separation be very important because if you get consecutive data like this, you see you no separate them with comma. The completer, the program go assume say na just one data be the both of them. So you must separate them with comma. Obviously, as we don't see for our example, you fit use any kind of data types inside the same array. For JavaScript, if you get one singular array, if it contain numbers, strings, Boolean, undefined, and more at the same time. One thing where you also need to know about array now say, if we get array inside array. So if we get this array, and then we want to store another array, another data will be array. We fit store that data as array inside the same array. Now, what thing we call nesting array be that. So once you store your data inside this array, how you fit access one data? Let's say we want to use just one data out of all of the data we save inside our array. How we fit take do am? Well, you go start using bracket notation. We don't already talk about how to use bracket notation to access characters will be our strengths. Well, now the same exact way with the access data where they inside our array. So just like with the strings, you will write the name of your variable and then you will use your notation. Remember, our notation, they always start with 0. So if we want access the first data for our array, we go write the name of the variable. And then after the open and close square bracket, we go write the position, the notation of our data where we try access. For the first one, we go use 0. For the second one, we go use 1. The third one, we go use 2, and so on and so forth. And of course, if you also save the data where you don't access from your array, if you also save them inside another variable, if you save them into a old variable. Another thing where if we do with index notation, now to change the value of one data inside your array at the specific position of that data where you want change. So first, you go access the data using our notation, our bracket notation. And then once you access the data with the notation, you go set them equal to waiting you want change them to. So after you write them like this, you go check the value of this data in this first position will want change. You go change them to this data will want change them to. And our entire array go change from this to become this. And you fit do them like this for every single one of the data will take inside your array by just accessing arm and then equating arm to the new data where you want change them to. For our strings, remember, for our strings, we no fit do them like this because you no fit change one singular character inside your string. But for array, you fit do them like that. So you no need to change everything every time where you want change just one thing. You go just call on that one where you want change by accessing arm and then make them equal to the 10 where you want change up to. Okay, now, so what if we get array inside our array? How we take the access down one? For instance, if this our array, get two different arrays inside out. How we go take access then? Well, first, you go cheat done, like say, na just normal data. You go treat the array like say na just normal data. So if we will access any data for inside this first array, you go use the bracket notation as normal. Our first array dey position 1. So we go access them like say we dey access regular data for position 1. But then after we access that one with our first bracket notation, we go open another bracket and then we go all enter that array. All count the position of the exact data we want access inside that array and then write the bracket notation of that one too. So let's say we want access the first data inside this our array. We don't already thought hey, it dey position 1. Then if first inside that position 1 dey position 0, so we go use 1 0. If we want access the second one, we go use 1 1. And then for our second array, this 1 2, we go do them like normal. This one dey position 0 1 2 3. So we go write our first bracket notation to be position 3. And then if we dey try access the first data inside that one, it go be position 3 0. And the second one will be position 3 1. And so on and so on. Now, remember, say we talk about methods for our string lesson. Say we fit check the entire length of our string by using the dot length method, and we fit change our string from lowercase to uppercase by using the dot uppercase method, and we fit change them to lowercase by using the dot lowercase method. Well, as strings get their own methods, now arrays too get their own methods. One of the most popular methods we get for our arrays now the dot push method. This dot push method, we did use add another data to our array, but we did take add them to the end of our array. So the end results go still be one singular array, but it will just make our array day longer with more new data at the end will be add using this dot push. You see say we write the name of our old array, where be the array we want push something to, and then we write but push. And then inside the bracket, we put our new data where we want add, so that the final product could be the combination of the old data inside our array and the new data at the end. You will still follow the normal convention of writing your data. With an name, might say if you want add number, you see say inside our bracket, we just add the number. But if you want add string, don't forget to put your quotes, double quotes or single quotes. And if you want add boolean true or false, you will be all lowercase true, or if not false, you want add false. You fit also save the new data where you want add inside one variable first. So then when you want write the dot push, you could just write the name of your variable instead of the data where you want add, because automatically the data don't become the variable and the variable don't become the data. And we fit do the same way to add an array inside our old array. We go write the name of the array we want add something to, then dot push. Then inside this dot push bracket, we go write the new array where we want add. You go see say our results will be the new array inside our old array added to the back of the existing data we already did our old array. We fit also save the new array for variable first, and then inside the dot push, we go write the name of the array we want push to our old array. If we will add the data in a new array to the old array, but we don't want to make it be array inside of an array, we will add all of the data inside the array as their own positions inside an old array regularly. Then we go down with what they call spreading. Spreading is very simple. It just means hey, you will add this dot dot dot, what they call ellipses, in front of the array inside the dot push brackets. So this dot dot dot, they talk say no add this array as the whole, add the individual data at the end. Another array method really get where they easy to understand na dot pop. This dot pop method, they're very simple because the only thing way they do now say is they remove the last item for your array. Remember, when they use dot push add item to the last position, if you won't come remove item with they at the end, you could just use dot pop. Simple. So let's say we get this array containing 4 data inside. Once we write dot pop That means say we dey remove the last data, and from now on our array only get 3 data inside. You fit also save the data wey you just remove with this .up method. You fit also save am inside e own variable. Wetin you go do na say you go use your normal keyword to create a new variable, and then you go say equal to your old array, your array wey you dey modify .pop. So this one go remove the last data and then save it to the new variable. You fit also do the same thing in the opposite direction. If you want to do the same thing in the opposite direction, you go use .shift. Wetin I mean by opposite direction, I say if you want remove data, but na the first one you want remove, no be the last one. So remember, we use this .pop to remove the last data. To remove the first, you will use .shift. And then you fit also save the data wey you just remove into a new variable, just like we do with .pop. Finally, the last method wey I go show you for our array method na the method wey we take dey add something to the first place of our array. Remember, we don check how to remove the last place. We don check how to add to the last place. We don check how to remove from the first place. Now, to add to the first place, you go use on shift. So we go write am normal like we dey write am before. We go write the name of our array wey we dey try modify. Then we go add this method .shift. Then inside the bracket of this .shift, we go add the data wey we dey try add to the beginning of our array. And just like with .push, we fit push one single data, we fit push one single array, and we fit push all the data wey dey inside our array using this spread ... notation. As always, I would like tell you say no need to cram methods for JavaScript for programming. No bother yourself by saying, oh, I got cram. No, just understand wetin we dey try achieve. Understanding is better than cramming. Once you understand them, you dey work on your own project, you dey practice, you realize say, oh, I work out something to the end of my array. Wetin we take the do am? You check them, you use them. Now like that, it will become part of you without having to memorize. If you say me you memorize, you no fit memorize everything, because we still get so many different methods wey we no go cover for this class. So you go guys research them on your own. Just Google simple array methods in JavaScript. Google will give you so many more than you can think of, and then by the time when you dey aware say okay they exist and you dey use them for your program, or by the time when you dey watch tutorials of people wey dey use them for their program, very soon you sef go understand them and it will be second nature to you.